today. We are now live. The January 23rd, 2015, Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And Miss Yvette, you are taking a little break next week.
Yes, Disneyland, here I come.
Yay.
Watch out for the measles.
Measles.
Everybody says that, but you know what? I'm starting to get nervous about it because everybody's saying something about it. But, you know, we've had vaccines. Doesn't that help?
Well, if you get the
Yes.
vaccine, you're fine.
Okay.
It's the people that don't are the problem.
Just take some hand sanitizer with you.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. So I got that and tell my daughter not to touch, you know, not to touch her face or her mouth, anything with her hands. And I got it all down.
To do though.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She'll be fine. I'm hoping that nothing like that happens and we just have a blast.
I hope you just have a blast, too.
Well-deserved vacation.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we work hard, all of us, right?
That's great. Me too.
And now everybody's like, why are you going now? And right, you know, when tax season starts, but it's the slowest week that Disneyland has. You know, we've done research. This is like, that week is like the least attendance. And then there's still a lot of people, but not like most times.
Right,
That's why I picked that time because I don't like standing in lines for hours. I just can't.
You know you can get the app too.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Because I go to Disneyland like 2 times a year. Love that place.
Cool. Cool.
And Rhonda, don't you live kind of close to that?
I live like 15 minutes from there.
Oh, well, I think I'll come over then. I'll come in there.
There you go.
Cool.
I'm staying at the Disney Hotel. So
Are you?
fun, yeah. Going with some friends. It's actually for my daughter's homeschooled, but we're celebrating their 8th grade graduation, her and her friend Emily. So
I just started homeschooling my son. It's, well, quite
Great.
interesting.
How old is he?
My son is 14, but he is disabled, so developmentally he's probably 4.
Good.
yeah, that's.
Homeschooling sounds good.
And Rhonda, are you in a group?
No, it's a long, involved problem that we're having, and so I'm right now he's medically homeschooled, so he gets an hour a day, and then I supplement everything else, and then legally he's still in the district, the actual district, but we're working on figuring an alternative route.
Yeah, if you ever need to find out something, you know, I could give you my number or just look me up on the internet. My phone number's there.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people. It is crazy. So there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah, and you have to be very selective.
Yeah.
And I don't. I personally don't homeschool my daughter. I'm just very blessed that my best friend, she's a retired school teacher, and she decided when she retired to homeschool Julia, my daughter and her daughter together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and she's an awesome teacher. She runs it like a school. They have to be there. They start at the same time every single day, and they end at the same time. She's very regimented and very strict.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely needed.
Yeah, and they also have their own interests. Like my daughter's violinist, been a violinist since she was 5. And she's now in the Children's Symphony, and so they have their own activities as well. And she also used to do Irish dancing as well, competition.
That's awesome.
That is totally awesome.
So now that I finished bragging about my daughter, let's move on.
What else is exciting happening for everyone? Not much.
Wow.
I finished my 1099s.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I did my, let's see, W-4s are done.
Nice, nice. Well, I thought I was done my 1099s. Ha.
Oh, no.
I had a client call me yesterday. What is it I need to do for this? I've been working with these clients all year long. When a new 1099 vendor comes in, please Get a W-9 before you give them the first check. Afterwards, it's
That's what I
like
do.
pulling teeth.
Oh, then I have clients. I don't even want to get into this subject, but yeah, 1099s is always an issue every year.
Yeah, I won't pay them unless they give me a new one.
You'd be surprised. Some of the clients, some people don't even care. Some of my clients, they don't even want to report it. You know, when I tell them, well, if you're doing that, you can't claim it. You can't claim that expense.
That's right. That's exactly right. But I, you know, where I used to work at, there was a client that accepted that rule because they wanted some people that, I'm not going to say that they were illegal aliens. I don't know that. But you know how that is. They only wanted cash.
Right.
And so they would take cash out of their company every 2 weeks to pay these guys. They couldn't find anyone else to do the work. It was a manual job, and so they really wanted these guys to do it. So they said, okay, and I just coded it to draw.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
So where did you put the debit side, the expense side?
It wasn't an expense.
Went to draw, owner's
It
draw.
went to draw for the owner, so at the end of the year, it was counted as money that he got, so he would have to pay taxes on it.
So you didn't try to deduct it.
Pardon me?
You didn't try to deduct the money that he paid people on the side at all.
Yeah, he didn't expense it.
No, he did not expense it. It was taken out as if it were money that he personally took out of the company.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that was how he paid taxes on it. But they
Okay.
really, like I said, they couldn't find anybody to do the job, and these were the only ones that would do it. So, and
Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of people who do contracts and work, they go by these places and hire these guys, and they
Oh, yeah.
cash. You know,
Seen it all the time.
cut down on their expenses to do the job.
right.
I do have a question for you guys. Remind you that obviously I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I don't do taxes, but is it legal to email the 1099s now?
Yeah.
Email to the recipient, to the
Yeah.
vendors.
Yeah.
Dennis, where are you?
I would think so because some of these 1099 that
Well,
you
the
get
reason I ask is when I did my 1099, I did it through QuickBooks Online. You know, their simple service. I think I had 18 of them, so it wasn't like I had a humongous amount.
This
But
is Dennis. I'm eating my
Hey,
lunch, so basically, you better make sure that it's secure because you could be liable if somebody steals your social number.
Yeah, that's right.
okay.
So I would not. I would put it in a portal, or if I'm going to do it, I'd make sure that I send it secured mail, because liable if someone stole their identity because of the social number.
It would be better to use Dropbox or ShareFile or something along those lines, or if you could,
So, now, what about these companies that you could do everything on the internet,
Well, here's the reason I asked, because when I filed the 1099s through QuickBooks Online,
right?
they gave you the option to go ahead and email them.
Right.
You better make
And
sure.
so I thought to myself, well, if they're giving you the option, it must be.
I would find out if they've got some sort of secured arrangement, because in general you would not want to email. It's like sending a postcard through the mail.
Mhm.
You would not want to have confidential information like a social number or a credit card number on a document that's going through the email. What you could do is you could encrypt the PDF file.
Right.
Right.
Adobe can do that.
Right.
And then the
Right.
other
Yeah.
question I have, and it's kind of stupid, is so once I printed these 1099s, do I have to send them in the designated envelopes? I know it's a really stupid question, but
That
Well,
was actually on Abo today. I saw that earlier.
well, I think the proper protocol is that you're supposed to put them in envelopes and send them to the respective vendors.
right. But I'm saying it can be in a regular envelope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
As long as they get it.
Okay, because I mean, I was concerned that I had to have the special envelopes because, see, I did them myself, so they were printed in PDFs, and I was like, well, I don't want to go out and buy these envelopes just for that. But
Yeah. Are you e-filing
I did, but I'm talking the ones to the
to the people themselves? Yeah.
I thought but I thought to send to the people themselves, you have to send it in the correct form.
Well, you can print them.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
Like, you know, because they print out to me as a PDF, and then I just printed the PDF file.
Yeah, but I thought I read somewhere you can't even do that. Dennis, are you there?
Sort of.
Sort of.
You know, years ago, I read something on the IRS website that you had to actually send them the actual. They have special forms.
Right. Last year I did the forms, but this year I only had 18 of them, so I didn't bother.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm seeing with companies is that they will, like for example, Boeing, they will give their employees like a PDF file of the W-2, and same thing as a 1099, I guess.
Right.
Where that's what they give me as opposed to these 3 copies of, you know, sometimes they'll give me like the printout has like 3 copies of the W-2 or the 1099.
All right.
The 1099 does not get sent in with the tax return if you're mailing it. So they only need to see it, the vendor.
Well,
Right.
only things that get sent in with the tax return if you're paper filing is something if there's been income tax withheld, like a W-2 or in some cases a 1099, or like a pension or an IRA, or if someone takes a distribution and they withhold it, then supposedly you're supposed to staple it to the front if you're paper filing, but as a tax preparer with more than 10 clients, you're supposed to e-file. You're not even supposed to be paper filing. In fact, you're supposed to be filling out some stupid forms that, you know, why you're paper filing.
Right, yes, it's now required most tax preparers do e-file. And if you want to paper file, you have to sign that paper or have the client sign the paper saying they requested paper.
Yeah.
For the 1099s, for the IRS copy, you can either e-file it
Which
or
is what
you
I
have
did.
to have that red printed copy to send to them along with the 1096.
Right.
Right, which is what I did. I did file the e-file that way. I also did that with the W-2s, I think.
Did you follow with the state as well?
Yeah. I did everything on QuickBooks Online this year. Just because they sent me, you know, they send me a confirmation and everything's done, and you know, and then of course I send it to Bruce that it gets done.
Rhonda, how is Bruce? Have you talked to him?
You know what? I sent him a message the other day. He says he's just busy with, you know, just doing tax stuff. So he's getting fine.
Yeah, I miss seeing him on the Hangout. He's always been fun. But he's,
Yeah, we miss Bruce.
yeah,
He gets busy.
yeah, I'm sure he does. He's got like 4 to 6 girls working for him now. You know, doing the
Yeah.
bookkeeping and helping him with the taxes. So he's doing really good.
Good, that's what he's always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I have another question. This is not QuickBooks related. This is LinkedIn related.
Okay.
LinkedIn sent me an email asking me if I wanted to join Opportunity. Did anyone else get
I've
anything?
got one of those. I've gotten it a couple times, as a matter of fact. But I haven't done anything with it. I don't know what it's going to... I'm afraid that if I say yes, that they're going to make me... Because I don't pay for my LinkedIn.
Right, right. No, you don't have to pay for it, but I did say yes,
And
and
so,
I'm kind of sorry I said yes now.
why? Tell me.
I filled out the profile, and to me it seems like it's like a BNI thing where you pass leads back and forth. When I filled it out, I filled out everything like I needed leads for bookkeeping clients and that, you know, like that. and then there was a section, and it really wasn't clear. It just said, what do you need? And I just put in cloud computing. Well, now it's coming back and saying that they've matched people with me, and all of these people provide cloud computing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I went back into it, and I tried to take that out, but you have to have something that you need. Like you are buying from other people in order to participate in this.
Turn off.
So,
Yeah, you might have to call them and see what they can do to take you off there.
yeah, I'm going to have to take it off. I'm having email issues. I've got so much coming into my inbox at this point. And Google really, with Outlook, I used to be able to make rules and folders, and they would automatically go into the folders. My newsletters would go into the newsletter folders, and the groups that I were in would go into each one of those respective folders. Gmail just doesn't allow you to do that. You can create rules and you can mark them.
You can have them move to a folder.
Pardon?
You can have them move to a folder. If that's what you're needing.
Yeah, but then I lose them. I mean, it just doesn't seem to work as well as Outlook.
Because if they're unread, then they'll show up in your folder, and they'll show up as unread. Now, once you read them, or at least click on them.
Well, I've got them marked. I've got them marked as certain groups, but I wasn't able to get them to go into the folder and work properly. So I have to go back and look at that. Gmail just to me is not as easy as Outlook as far as setting up and getting to work properly.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth. I have a Mac, and I keep going back and forth. Do I want to do Mac Mail? Do I want to do Gmail? Because, you know, for me, Gmail's like now just kind of boring. It doesn't, I don't know, I guess I'm just over it. And I've done, you know, the Mac thing, I don't know, but I've gone back and looked at all these new, you know, inboxes, and there's so many of them out there.
Maybe I just really need to break down and do a CRM.
That's what I was going to say.
I really like the CRM. I've done many of them. I've tried them all.
Have you tried Tally?
I'm sorry?
Have you tried Tally?
No.
Okay.
Um,
I've done the Zoho. I was really big into Zoho. You know, back in the day, I've used Act. I mean, all these ones. What I have found is that they're all still missing parts of.
Yeah.
I can't get one that does it all. Dennis,
and there isn't one. There isn't such a thing. There just isn't.
I use Zoho, which I like because it centralizes my email, and I can make notes and have conversation with clients, and I can take notes for leads. What I've been doing now is, like, if I get a phone call, rather than dump it in Zoho as a lead, I'll just stick it into Evernote as a note, and then if I decide that it looks like it might be a lead or a prospect, then I'll put it into Zoho rather than put in Zoho and find out, no, it's not really, you know, going to pan out.
Yeah, the thing with CRMs, I mean, you have to find one that's best for you.
Yeah.
If you're not a huge company, you know, I mean, you don't have a lot of users and things like that. That obviously keeps the cost down. It keeps it easier to learn, to understand. If you start having, you know, all these users in there, Gina, I don't know how big, you know, if it's just you and a couple different people. What I have found is the more people you get involved in the CRM, the more complicated it gets.
Yeah.
I've been using Insightly.
Oh, yeah, I looked into that one.
I've been happy with it. It does integrate with QuickBooks. It does supply me with balances and information. It does my marketing. It does do from my website, if somebody fills out a form, it will go directly into my program and notify me, let me know I have a new lead. A good task list, I've felt. I'm one of the types of people like prefers to use one program for everything. Obviously, you can't do that with
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
QuickBooks.
I
You
guess
can't
that's
enter
my
your billing.
problem too.
So
And-
I do keep to my two major ones, which right now are Insightly and QuickBooks, and they seem to work out really well. I don't have any paper. I'm paperless office, so everything goes into these programs.
It's great.
I practically live in Zoho. I mean, the amount of time I spend in terms of emails, and what I really like is just having a record of everything centralized for the customer contact with emails and places where I can store passwords and, you know, the QuickBooks passwords for client files and all in one spot. That's what I like. But I use like Workflow Max for my time and billing, which I really like too. But it'd be nice if Workflow Max was more of a CRM, but it's not. So it's just kind of. And then the one I really like, I'm starting to use Smartsheet, and the thing I like about that is that it gives me kind of like an overall look at where I am on everything. You know, as opposed to Zoho, I kind of have to go in by client.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, and even the summary page isn't really summarized very well. It's just kind of by date. It's not by client or anything like that. So.
Hey Gina, a good source for you too would be Steve Dotto. He has a lot of Gmail.
Yeah, that guy's great. I mean, he does
So are you talking
video.
about?
Steve
That
Dotto.
name's
Oh,
Dotto.
okay.
Yeah, he has
Alberta,
a lot of simple like 15 to 18 minutes on just different like just email or Gmail or YouTube videos or just small, again, not hour conversations, like 20-minute videos of things that are very helpful. And I know he just did one not too long on Gmail and filters and how to organize and clean up all those
He
items.
does Evernote too.
Yes.
He does a lot of stuff on Evernote.
Yes.
Yeah, Yvette just turned me on to him. I'm going to put him in the showcase.
I found him through Rhonda because Rhonda posts some of his videos, and I started watching that, and I got hooked on his stuff. I just love the Mac user too,
Yeah.
and I'm a Mac user, so just love it. And his videos are so clean and interesting and to the point, and just love him.
Yeah, he's great. I like him.
But Gina, like I said, there's a specific video I think that you would all look for it.
Look for it. Yeah.
But I mean, he does a lot on just Gmail and how to organize it and just the simple parts of it.
Yeah, like he did one on Scannable. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
I love it. I loaded it right away because it also it works with Evernote.
Mm-hmm. Gina, if you're looking for a CRM, are you looking for just for one for you or for your staff or?
Well, I think that's my problem. I'm so small. It's just me and one other person.
Mm-hmm.
And the other problem is I tell people all the time, have an email for spam, and never did it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my own fault for allowing that to happen.
A lot of like Insightly, the only two people that I have a couple different people that work in my company, but nobody really wants to use anything. So myself and my assistant, we use Insightly like one-on-one, and it's been really helpful for small uses, and it's not expensive, and it's month to month. So if you don't want to choose, have to pay for a whole year, that's really nice. And it's as simple as you can just use it for yourself if it just came down to that, but everything's in one centralized location. So all your contacts, your email, everything's in one location. And they do have an app for iPhone, and I don't know about Android. But I know a lot of them have apps as well.
I don't send my emails to my Android. I really don't. I have so many of them, And yeah, when I go out to clients, I don't want to be interrupted by these things. I feel like they are paying for my time to get my undivided attention. I don't answer the phone. I don't text. I don't, look at emails. I do specifically client work when I am with the client.
Right. And that's great.
Yeah, and I was just listening to a video the other day of this woman that she owns a business and she streamlined everything. And one of the things she said is she totally does not have her email on her phone.
Oh my gosh, I heard that the other day from somebody.
Yeah, I think, as a matter of fact, Rhonda, it's the video that you commented on. That's the one that I saw, remember? Yeah, that's the one. But it's got me thinking because it's true. I mean, I got even stuff from Google+. I'm always getting stuff from LinkedIn. And
isn't that true, though? I mean, it literally, the whole idea there, the concept is you guys are in front of client. I'm not specifically, but you're right. They are paying for your time, and they don't want you checking your email. Who cares? They don't care about anybody else but themselves.
Right.
Even when you're with your family.
Right.
That's the other thing, right?
Daughter or whatever. Work should be with work. I mean, and there's a time that you got to cut it off. And I've been having my business for almost 10 years now, and I'm finally starting to realize that it's because it consumes me. And a lot of times, I've been with family and friends out for dinner, and here I am looking at my phone because I got either a text or an email from a client or something, or a possible client. And one of my friends once said to me, you know what? Stop looking at your phone. We're here having time with people.
Such a habit, like literally, it's just.
It is a habit. It is a habit. I agree. But I want my Sundays. I want one day a week that is mine to do what I want to do, and I am not answering client calls. I'm not answering client emails or anything like that. Now, that being said, I will go on my tablet and I will check my emails to see if anyone has any urgent needs. If it's a good client, I will go out of my way. But if it's somebody, their emergency may not be my emergency.
Exactly.
If it's due to their lack of planning, then they'll wait until I am actually on work hours. And when pardon?
You have to be in the moment, and you have to focus on where you are in the moment.
Exactly.
Rather than worrying about what you're going to be doing 2 hours from now when you're back at your computer. And you have no guarantee you'll be there 2 hours.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, my friend always tells me, be where you're at, right here.
Yep.
Be
in the moment.
I'm trying to work on that. I got to be present.
Right. So if I'm home, I have access to or if I'm in my office during the day, I have access to my email. I don't need to get it on my phone.
So I'm thinking of taking it off my phone. It's go through so much rules, but I'm thinking about it.
A lot of times I don't even answer my phone if I'm, because I'm not in front of my computer and I really can't help the person, So
Right.
I just,
Right.
at Costco, I'm not going to be answering my phone because no way I'm going to be able to help anybody.
And,
I mean, I like getting it on my phone. Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything with it.
That's true. That's true. But I don't like to be binging and bonging and whatever.
Hey, Dennis, do you still work with Xero?
Yeah.
How's that going?
I use it for my own business, and I got a Chamber of Commerce on it that I'm trying to do the bank feeds and all that. It's been a bit of a challenge because the bank is kind of antiquated and the information isn't all the greatest, but I've been kind of working on that. But during tax season, I've just gotten so focused on that, and I may be getting into L&I, workman's comp tax issues, because I've got a client that's got a big problem with L&I, and I have a colleague that I've known. He's also a certified fraud examiner. He specializes in L&I in the state of Washington, and I guess that's a kind of a booming business with all those L&I audits. They're trying to, the state agencies are trying to get every nickel they can from you.
Yeah.
So I can see myself eventually getting out of Zero and QuickBooks and just focusing on tax. But
Yes,
right.
sadly, I think I have come to the conclusion that for the first time ever, I am not going to have my business in the latest QuickBooks desktop. I'm going to
Oh my God! Oh.
Wow. Welcome to the club.
I was on a NAN webinar yesterday with Joe Woodard. It was like
I heard it. I was there.
I
was there also.
There are a lot of honked off. There are a lot of honked off pro advisors, especially because really they're kind of devaluating this knowledge you spent 10, 15 years acquiring, and now they're trying to do a quick left turn into the cloud.
Right. Right. That's true.
You're getting a reduced new audience coming in.
Right.
And one of the biggest complaints was, people being able to get advanced QBO status after, within maybe 3 or 4 months as opposed to 3 years with the desktop.
Right.
Because I know in order to get certified status, you have to have for the desktop, like you had to have prerequisites before you could get
You had to be certified for 3 years.
Yeah. So why is it that the QBO people? Why is it that QBO you sign up today, take the class, and then tomorrow you can be certified?
Yeah, that was kind of rubbing people further the wrong way. Because the bulk of the audience was advanced pro advisors, about maybe 40%. Did you watch that event where that was kind of interesting, wasn't it? I mean, I didn't have a chance to watch the whole thing, but it was interesting because Joe Woodard was putting the positive spin, and then Murph was putting the devil, not so positive.
I just always wonder, I hate to say this on the air, but sometimes I think some people just get bought into it, you know what I mean? That really pushes people to go with into it,
Well, the thing about any big company is that they have their objectives and goals, and sometimes they're in sync with yours and sometimes they're not. But when they decide to make the shift, they don't particularly care. I don't think that you devoted 10, 15 years to becoming real skilled in an application that they're trying to basically destroy or basically to devalue. So that's the risk you take when you put all your proverbial eggs in one basket. I mean, I'd do the same way with Zero. I mean, I don't think you ought to be overly dependent on any one company.
Yeah.
I'm more of the Doug Sleeter philosophy of being agile and,
I agree with you, Dennis. I do. You do have to be agile, but I think over the years, when I first started, all my eggs were not in the same basket. There was Peachtree. There was, believe it or not, does anybody remember Creative Solutions?
I had it since 1980.
They're still around.
Creative Solutions, 1983.
The write-up software.
Remember the big diskettes? Where's my screen? The big diskettes are like this big, 8-inch.
They're basically taxes now, and I think they've got, accounting office solutions. I know that my tax round, they'll be talking about Creative Solutions.
Well, more and more of my clients moved from those programs over to QuickBooks. QuickBooks came and brought on the Pro Advisor program, and then they created the Advanced. And
We used to get T-shirts.
Right, and now, they're starting, like you said, to change their direction of the way they're going. But the old system, there are so many pro advisors that the market is saturated, I really think.
Well, pro advisors are certified pro advisors. Because pro advisors just means they paid their money.
Right, exactly. So
but they go to a do-it-yourself crowd, and so if the client, potential client, doesn't have any frame of reference other than, you're both a pro advisor,
then it means nothing. Absolutely right. Certified, advanced certified. Do they know? Do they care? Does it mean anything? It doesn't have any meaning because everybody can be one. So And also, the reason that I did all of that was because I wanted to be on the top of the list of the Pro Advisors Intuit site and get leads from Intuit. But those leads, very rarely do I get a client out of those leads. It depends on when I pick them up. Yes, Linda, Sage too. Sage is Peachtree. The old tree.
Asking for, I'm just wanting free advice.
Right, and that's what it comes down to. If I'm in a good mood, a lot of times I'll just give them the free advice.
That's
I
less
mean, the last lead that I got, you know, the person said, well, I just bought a brand new computer and I tried to load my 2007 QuickBooks database.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And so I just responded back, if you have a Windows 7 or, you know, the Windows 8, you really need to upgrade your QuickBooks.
Yeah.
So she actually wrote back and she said, well, now I have a copy of QuickBooks 2012.
It's going to expire in 2-3 months.
So I hope you have a licensed version and you were able to install the licenses. But that's how those leads have been going. My leads come in better from referrals at this point.
I really don't want anything that isn't a referral. And then Eric's like, no, that's wrong. No, that's not right. He's so funny. He's like, you want them all, and I'm like, no, I don't.
It depends on how established your business is. If you are just starting out, you need everything you can get.
You want to talk to all.
But if you're established, those leads that come in by referrals have already been vetted. They are already looking for what you have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where if you start cold from somebody that's never heard about you, doesn't know you, from the next Pro Advisor, they come up and, well, your rate's way too high. I can get the same thing for $25.
Yeah.
Now, usually what I get is, your name keeps coming up. You know? This person and then that person and that person and so-and-so said you're not taking on any clients. Is that true? And I'm like, no, but talk to me a little bit. You know, I'll still talk to them because maybe I will take a new client on that. Anyway.
I'm finding right now I just use QuickBooks for my tax clients. I still get leads by referring them out to another advanced Pro Advisor in the area. He basically refers tax leads to me because I just don't want to. I don't do setups anymore, and I'll do a little bit of training occasionally, but I'm just finding I just don't have the energy or the bandwidth to be trying to do too.
Well, there's that too. That's a valid point, Dennis. That really is a valid point. Do you want? Because Rhonda, I think you went through that. You did that SEO, and you banged out everything, and then got to the point where it was just so overwhelming you had to back down.
Yeah.
Well, as you get older, energy is a lot more critical. I call it time, money, and energy. And time.
More power naps.
And I'm still surviving. It's not. Yeah. You know. I mean.
5 to 6. I take my little. I regard getting old as kind of like a cell phone battery. When it's new, it charges right up and holds a charge, but as you get older, it takes longer to charge up, and it doesn't hold a charge as long. So
I like that, Dennis. That really does feel to be true.
Life is like a cell phone.
Dennis.
Speaking of personal experience, it just takes longer to charge, and the charge doesn't hold as long.
There you go.
Some of it's passion too. I know when I was younger, I was so passionate about everything, you know, and I don't want to lose that, but you do after years. You just
after you've been doing it for so long.
It's like, yeah, I know what you did. Yeah, okay, yeah, control. Yeah, I know.
But you do try to keep an open mind, because there are people that you know, oh, I've been down this road 5,000 times. And
yeah, but if they appreciate it, if you can get them engaged, the client, it really makes a huge difference.
That's true. That's true.
You know, when I have the same thing every month, year after year after year, and then when I was talking to the principal of a little day school, she's so funny because she'll go, "Now, Sarah, what you're telling?" I said, I'm trying.
Well, I do have to say, I do like the training. I do love the moment that they just get it, that it just clicks.
Oh, yeah, the light bulbs, all of a sudden, it's
and
like...
you can just see it, you know. That's when you feel real good about what you do. And that's when the passion comes back for me. For that kind of client, you don't mind going the extra whatever. So you're right. It does depend on the client.
I'll tell you why I was late. Speaking of a client that I've been trying to work with for 10 years, I finally resigned. I'm like, no more, you know. And
Really?
and
Did you really,
so,
Sarah?
huh?
Did you really resign?
I've been threatening. I threatened, and you know, but anyway, right before Christmas, I said, no, 2015. I'll help you get ready for your audit, but I can't solve anything, and if I absolutely cannot solve something, all I do is stay frustrated, and I'm ineffective. You need somebody else because whatever I'm doing, I'm not getting through. And what it is there are people in positions that shouldn't be in these jobs. And then when you have a small company, and everybody's friendly, and they all go to church together, and you know, and they're all so nice, but the boss, you know, there's just so, the kids play soccer. There's just too much of that. And so I can't make management decisions for people. I can't say, and finally I did. I had a really honest talk and said, look, this is a business. Somebody who is in the wrong position, it must be just the frustration and the being overwhelmed and the paper everywhere and the mistakes and deleting, and all that is a symptom that we need to solve. I've never been able to solve it, so I need to leave. And there isn't management in place who can really just put their foot down, and you know. So my new contracts actually have expectations from me, expectations from them, and it says you will hire a competent staff. And
So like a bunch of
and you
amiable and
keep
competent.
training, and you keep helping, and you keep giving them theory and print screens, and you know. So I said I'm leaving, and then the auditors were coming. The auditors found out about it and went, "Is Sarah's leaving?" They're like, "Well, we may be leaving." And so one of the senior auditors stopped by last night, and she said, "Are you going to get them ready for the 2014 audit?" And I went, "Yeah, I can't just, you know, I just can't abandon them. You know, my psyche can't do that. I'm going to write off so much labor I can't even tell you, but so do they." And so, anyway, I got a call today from the director saying there was a lady who's in charge of another department that runs another set of software that interfaces with QuickBooks. I've never had access to her before. There's this middle person.
So now you'll be working with them.
Here's her cell number. I want y'all to work together and do whatever you need to do. And I said, well, where are we with, you know, if you're trying to design a system or streamline or fix a problem when there's so many components and running pieces and so many people involved, you have to start at the financial. What's the bare minimum I can have on my financials? And then work backwards.
Right.
You know, and then more item codes that point to the financials, and maybe that'll give you more information, but not too much information, not 40 pages worth, you know, too many choices, you know. And then how does that interface with third-party stuff? You know, that's the progression of things. And then I kept hearing this software won't do that. It won't do that. I have to edit. I have to delete. When it comes down, I have to do all this stuff. And then nothing's consistent, and it's just a constant battle. So she gave me this woman's cell number, and I said, why don't you give her my phone number too and tell her, you know, when she can talk to call me. So we spent 2.5 hours on the phone, and why didn't I have this lady 10 years ago? She's like, I've been hearing that you have to have it this way. That I've been the stumbling block.
Right.
And by the time we're done, we are buds. We think alike. We're both anal. We both can't stand messes. We can't, and I'm just like, yes. Yes.
So things improved. I'm wondering.
I am so psyched. I can't tell you. And so when I was begging them this summer to do it, okay, you're in the 2 busiest weeks of my entire year, and now you want to do this? And we have to fix back to January 1? I'm like, oh, thank you. No, it's just sometimes that's all. You just want somebody who's like grasping what you're saying, and she was she was finishing my sentences for me. We were clicking.
So awesome. So I'm beginning to wonder, I'm having issues getting information from my clients or getting my clients to give me all the information. Is it me? Am I not asking the right questions?
Right. You begin to wonder where's the communication?
Right. What am I not doing something that should I be communicating in a different way? I've spent years. I try to send emails and explain everything all the way from the beginning to the end, and I think sometimes the clients just say yeah to get me off the phone and nothing.
Right.
So I'm following up now, and this is what we had decided you were going to do so that I can do my job this way, so I guess it's a matter of procedures and requesting. If you have to set up an email that goes out every month, I need your bank statements.
See, that's where Smartsheets just ended all that, because it put it all on there. Who's responsible for it? When's it due by? Who's got the ball? You make up your columns, and then you can set up automatic. Let the system remind them, and then if it's not coming in, then I can see if I can bump it up, and go. And you let everybody have the ability to see the sheet, so lower level people may not know who's reading that, and that I'm always late. You say, hey, another friendly reminder that I need da-da-da. And so everybody's seen that comment. See, it's sort of I knock down all the walls, and even if the boss or the owner and all that isn't even reading it, they don't know that. Now, if you're working with a boss, then sort of like somebody who's got their wife doing the books, it's hard to complain about the wife, but
How much does Smartsheets cost?
I have a question.
I want to say $50 a month.
I want to have a question on Smartsheet.
Yeah.
I see where on their pricing it says only, for like this basics is only $12 a month, but I don't see that you can sign up for a monthly. It looks like you have to sign up for a year.
No, they had a monthly when it was just cheaper to do a year, I thought. I don't know. I haven't looked at it so long. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been using it for. I've been experimenting with it.
I put some samples in the ABBO.
I plagiarized one of them. I used it as a template.
I saw that. I'm like, I didn't do that, did I? And then I'm like, because it says you own the sheet.
Well, the thing I like about it is that it's got a global overall summary for, I can look at the whole thing and see where each client is, and as opposed to having to look like in my CRM, I have to look for each individual client, see the to-do list and that. And it's nice just to kind of scroll down and see, oh yeah, I got to do that. So it's all in one spot. That's the thing I like about it.
Yeah, I've been on my master 1099 W-2s and all that sheet. Now what I'm doing is, I send out engagement letters, and then so I have they been made, have they been sent, and then have they come back in? Has the data in? Has it been reviewed? Did it restore? I have sort of that. And now it's so late in the month, I have it turning colors. So I'm like, everywhere there's not a check mark, turn it purple. And so I can just glance and go, all right, I got 3 problem children.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very visual like that.
Yes, all in one spot.
I just had to email Magfiler because we got a bug on a 4-up. I'm like, that's lovely. I've got a client. You know, no, I'm sorry. I just squirreled off into something else because I had it in my hand.
Did you see that that thing I put in Google Plus about the $100 a day penalties for?
Oh, I saw it. I read it, Dennis. That's good.
$100 a day penalty for what?
If you, it has to do with the reimbursements on, you know, treating.
Right.
It used to be you could, I think it was like an escort, or when you paid the insurance for the employees, they could, I think.
Tax-free since 1960, or for 60 years, something like that.
And now you have to put it as income. If you don't, it's a $100 a day fine. And
well, let me ask you something, since you've been in the business a long time. I just lost my screen with you guys. Where'd you go? Okay. When you see something, a penalty that's crazy, $100 a person per day.
That sounds ridiculous.
What it is, that's a threat. And it's a threat to manipulate people to do what they need to do. But in my experience, I've never seen anything like that ever come to a head, because this rule went into play January 1st. And how many people knew about it? And how many people, including partners of big firms and tax firms, are just finding out about it now?
Well, if you read that, saw that article, it was from Forbes, and it's like little known.
Little known.
I didn't really pick up on it until I thought, holy crime. I would guess that the IRS would probably back off on that if there's a lot of penalties. I gotta believe that they'll back off, given. Yeah. Plus, they don't have a lot of resources right now. It's like, you know, you're lucky to only spend 2 hours on the phone trying to get through to them. You know, and so I don't know where they can't enforce the penalty.
No. But they're going to let the tax accountants police it, because now, say you get a trial balance and you usually just do a tax return if it's a good client, and you don't need their general ledger. You got to ask, or the question is there any individual insurance in that, health insurance expense account? Right. So are the tax accountants asking, or are they praying that there's nothing in there? I wouldn't want to be in y'all's shoes, quite frankly. But I've helped enough people, bail themselves out. But I figured this out in June and called everybody and got everybody bonused out and stopped the practice. But people are still saying, what do I do now? And it's, January 23rd. Quarterlies are done. They're,
Right, exactly.
So if everybody's struggling with it, then I don't see how they could ever come back with this. It's like when they came out with that, everybody's going to get a 1099 stupidity, including every gas station and every.
1099
I said, if clients are calling all upset, and I said, okay, as your accountant, let me tell you what the rule says. As your friend, forget about it. There's no way possible they would ever be able to keep this law in the books. Common sense says you can't, what the information isn't usable. You've got people on accrual, you've got people on different year ends and fiscal year ends.
Everybody that is out doing whatever it is they're doing for their business, when they go out to lunch, they go to Mickey D's, go to
I need your W-9.
I need a 1099.
Laughable. It was absolutely laughable. But that's when you sit back and you let the big guys go after them. The AICPA and all the big membership groups.
Scary though, because all of us little guys are vulnerable to that, and they could go out fishing. You know what I mean? The IRS could just go out fishing, cast their line anywhere it lands, they're going to get fish.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm looking at that penalty like that. I mean, if you blatantly find out about it, and say, I'm still going to reimburse them, well, then, you know, you get what you get. But for the ones that are very innocently walking in to have their corporate returns done now and next month and finding out that they weren't allowed to do this anymore when they've been doing it for 60 years, you know, I can't imagine. I don't know. That's, you know, who knows?
They'll back it off for a year or something. Isn't that what they did in the beginning?
Well, that's like putting the information on these, putting the health insurance information on the W-2s. It's just more work, you know. So I think it's back on the books for 16, right?
He doesn't want to pay us money to do taxes. He wants it so simple they can just look at their bank statement.
Right, but yeah, we have to like put all this information on there. And
I know.
Can I tell you about I was going to ask y'all if you've ever bumped into this with desktop. I did quarterlies and W-2s yesterday, and I have 2 pages of a checklist workflow. Even though I've been doing this 30 years, I seem to find out that if I don't, you know, everybody uses a checklist, and it just helps. You don't forget anything. It goes fast. And some of the things that I have everybody do seem so silly. And so one of the things on my checklist was, because everything looked great. I have reports printed for the tax payments that are paid, check this to that. Everything looked fine. Liabilities are fine. Nothing in red. Right? W-2s. And I have big spreadsheets where I put in totals from quarterlies, and I make sure everything flips across flips. And I'm just happy. And I get to the line on here that says, check the balance sheet. So, okay, so I pull up a balance sheet for December, and if anything bogus has been posted to a payable account, I want to catch it, you know. So I will like click on 941, open up the range, and I should be able to say, okay, I owed this. Yep, there's the payment. I'm fine. Now, if you're using the payroll program the way it's designed, it's always fine. But you know, there's always somebody who'll post a penalty at 941 payable or whatever. So anyway, so I look at that. And I glance at this, and one of the things on my checklist is, and this is a pet peeve with QuickBooks. When you make an e-pay payment for like a 941, down on the bottom left, it'll say when it's suggested it'll withdraw, like the first day available that it'll withdraw or something. I don't know. And then, but the check date will be different. And if it's going to withdraw on this date, well, doggone it, make the check date that. So I have to teach people, make sure the 2 dates are the same, you know. So it's just one of those anal things. So that's on my checklist too, is just to make sure that they're doing what I taught them to do. So I opened the range, and he said make a 941 tax payment on January 1st. And I instantly thought, that's a holiday, right? I'll change it to the 2nd, thinking it'll draft on the 2nd, right? So I just popped it open to change the date. Rejected. In orange. Holy. I go online, look at the bank statement. It's just not there. So I would not have caught it.
No one noticed. You got no notice. You got nothing. And the only way that you found out was going back and
I just happened to click on it. Now, I wouldn't have caught it until first week of February when I'm doing bank recs, right? So, because the other thing on my checklist is the December bank rec finished, because, I mean, that's a good way to catch stuff, too. Are you up to date, you know? But I haven't done January. So I called. So anyway, I dreaded this call. $5,000 deposit. So I called the client, and I said, I've got something strange on your last tax deposit of the year. And he goes, yeah. I said, I don't think it went through. So I have the receipt. I said, will you find it? Yeah, okay. So he pulls it out because he prints the confirmation.
Good for him. Yay, yay, yay.
Confirmation is fine. And it was on December 30th. Because my first thought is, why are you paying the taxes the next day? You know. But anyway, I said, well, you know how it emails you and tells you that it made it or not? He goes, yeah. I said, do you delete your emails or do you still have them? He says, hold on a minute. And so I heard him. He said, he said, it's fine. Oh no, that's Georgia. Okay, so the next one. It's and it's just subtly in the sentence. It says, because the sentence starts off the same. The email looks the same. It just has been rejected. And then down at the bottom, it tells you that you need to go online to EFTPS or whatever and resubmit it and everything. Well, how many people just get that, every single week? We just,
right, just do it.
So I'm so sorry, and I figured this late, let's see, what is it, a 2, 5, and 10% penalty, depending on how many days? I figured by today we're at 10%, so it really doesn't matter. But when you have a payroll that's rejected, the next time you go online, it will post the negative. It will reverse it for you. And you can see it, and then you have things in orange and red and everything. But this, nothing, no warning. Now if I click in it, go deeper and find, and that little history thing with the IRS, rejected. I mean, it's there, but thanks a lot into it.
Right.
So I voided it, which put it back in the payroll program, so then I e-filed it, and it'll be on the 27th. I mean, I could have done it today, but 10% is 10%. So.
Right.
So now what I'll do, I said, well, here's the thing. He's been so perfect for 50 years. I said, you might get one of those new nicer IRS letters that says, you didn't do this properly, but you're such a good customer or whatever, we're going to let you slide. I'm finding those more and more, so...
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully.
Well, you can try and call them. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, we can't call them this time. So I said, we're just going to go on with life. We know about it. When we get the letter, if they assess a penalty, maybe we'll attach all our stuff from Intuit. I'm sure they heard it before, and maybe some nice agent will let us go. Otherwise, we just, it's the cost of doing business, I guess. But, that's something else that I have to... See, you have to get stung
to know,
and then it gets on this list. Every single thing on this list, I have a story behind it. I can promise you. Remember in 1986 when this happened?
Right.
Like, if a client hovers around $50,000 in quarterly 941 taxes, complete a look-back test form and test the semi-weekly status. Because we don't get notices anymore when you go to semi-weekly. You have to just know. And so the look-back period to test is through June. So you have to add up those 4 quarterlies, and if it's over 50 by the end of June, the next year you may have just bumped yourself into a semi-monthly status versus a monthly status. And if you've got a client that's hovering around that figure,
they're not going to know.
They're not going to know unless you have that in your procedures.
Monthly until the IRS comes back and says, well, big bucks.
Where's your Schedule B? And that's what happened. One year I got a where's your Schedule B, and went, oh, well, how the hell was I supposed to? So
Schedule B is a scary form too. Don't put your tax liabilities in the wrong day.
Yeah, do you remember having to do those puppies by hand?
Mm-hmm.
No, I love the desktop payroll. I mean, these days it is really, if it's running well and people are doing what they're supposed to do, you should be able to just sit and print, test. It's not like the old days where you're just column paper. Remember that?
Well, we are a little bit on overtime. Larry's asking me if I'm getting ready for a storm. Yes, Larry, I am.
Man, we're burning up down here. We had the air on yesterday.
Do you guys have rain right now?
Yeah. So I guess we're getting the rain, and you're going to get the...
Getting, further up towards Pennsylvania. I'm right on the line. Right on the line. I could get anything. It could be rain. It could be sleet.
Sleet.
Freezing rain. Yeah, all of that.
Well, stay safe. Did you buy your, what is it, milk and bread?
Well, I believe that there is something called snow madness. And the only way to cure the snow madness is by milk toast. And I've say milk toast because anyone that's been around here knows on the eve of a snowstorm, you go out and get bread and milk.
And milk.
And the stores are always sold out of it. Always.
The one place you wouldn't want to put a snowstorm is Seattle because no one knows how to drive in a snowstorm. You get people in their four-wheelers that are going 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
The wine, Gina, don't forget the wine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. We need to change that formula.
Yep.
Put a little wine.
I mean, no, I've seen it. I've taken pictures of people in the supermarket with the only thing in their cart is bread and milk and wine.
Why?
Well, at least you can get wine at the supermarket.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
some
yeah.
states you
You can
can't.
get wine at Walmart here.
Yeah, Walmart.
Depends on the state.
One of those states that can't.
Yeah.
Yay, Sam's. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I got to see you guys. I was like, oh no, I miss my friends.
I'm glad you made it.
Yeah.
So we will see you all next week, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everyone. Everyone that's in the snow or the nor'easter area, stay safe.
Yep.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.